Right. Here we go. Here we go. Getting everything set up, making sure I'm streaming everywhere. Okay, guys, we're doing something that is super, super important. We're going to talk about how to stay calm right now. Let's talk about, I'm going to give you a second to hop on. So hop on, say hello, tell me where you're from. Happy Monday, guys. It's 6 o'clock where I'm at. So heading into the evening, it's still really hot outside. So it's really toasty in here. Got my fan going. We turned the AC off. I always love when I go live on different platforms. You can see all my candle trash right there. So I may or may not have a slight issue with candles. I told Dave the other day, I'm like, there are just things that I like to collect. I collect t-shirts. I've got a new one on. Okay, I know you can't really see it, but it says Deadly Nightshade. My kids were getting all these clothes for school, and I was like, this is a great excuse for me to buy more t-shirts. I do not wear outfits. I wear t-shirts, and so I feel justified in the fact that I really probably don't spend as much as some people do on clothes because my t-shirts are, pretty on sale. Hi, Jan. Good evening. So, honestly, this is probably going to be, I think, one of the most important videos that I have made so far. Honestly. So we're going to set some rules here. And actually, Jen, I'm going to look at your post and I'm going to see something. That's interesting. So I was just I was going to see if I can delete what you type in case someone decides to go off the wall. Hello. I don't want to say your name wrong. I'm so horrible at names because I need glasses. Carlene, right? Hello. I was just looking to see if I can delete a person's post. Because this is going to be a little bit of a subject, and I don't think I can. I think I can only just block you. I can't actually delete your post if you post something crazy. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about a subject that is very sensitive. You will be a responsible adult. You will act like you will act like you have integrity. Okay, we're going to talk about a subject, and absolutely, I am not here to tell you, we're not going to discuss politics. We're not going to talk about how you in your deepest hearts of hearts thinks that things should be going. Okay, I'm here to tell you, as rude as this sounds, no one cares. And that's just the ugliness of it. Okay. What I am here to do is help you to deal with what is going on. Okay. So let's put on our ability to do some deep thinking and realize that we're not here to debate anything. We are here to talk about how do we find a space of peace? How do we find a space of calmness when we feel like everything is out of control? Okay. Now, if you're like me, you might have some littles, some kiddos that are about to go back to school. And so this is very, I like to call it interesting. I don't like to label things. I don't want to say it's very chaotic because then what am I doing? If I tell myself this is really chaotic, then I am going to create chaos for myself. So let's be really careful with our words. Hello, Francesca, who is in Iowa. Welcome. So we're going to do this very respectfully. Okay. Don't make me block you from my page. You don't want to do that. Karma follows blocked people. Like my wicked sister or something. Okay. First of all, we're going to start this off with no one is stupid. Okay. That's a good thing to remember. No one is stupid, because I know that we're living in a space right now where we feel like no matter what side you're on, you're like, everyone else is stupid. Clear that out of your head. Okay. First of all, because that's your ego being a jerk, and we don't need to be walking around thinking that. I mean, I was at the pool yesterday, and so just to kind of give you a background of where we are here, I live in northern Utah. We were at a pool that's in the southern part of Idaho. I literally live on the border of Utah and Idaho. So saying that I'm going to Idaho really means that I drove 5 minutes north. But so anyway, Dave and I have this blessed property in Idaho that we have our camper sitting on in a mountain. So we go up there on the weekends sometimes, and then we go down into town and take our little boy to the water park. And so the pandemic, the virus has become rearing its ugly head here, as I'm sure it is for many of you. And so we're definitely seeing some people that are masking up on their own free will. It hasn't become a mandate here. And you can tell I'm being very careful about how I'm wording stuff, because this will become a video where people can feel comfortable watching it. We're not one-sided. And so I just happened to watch some people leaving the pool, and they had put masks on their family, and another family was coming in to the pool and past them, and they happened to pass right in front of us. So I heard what they said. So the family that passed without the masks was like, they're so stupid. Cloth masks don't do anything. And I was like, this is what goes through my head. Okay. Why can't we just be respectful? Why can't we just be respectful of people? If you want to wear a mask, then I respect that you want to wear a mask. And if you're not wearing a mask, then I'm going to respect that you don't wear a mask. Now we're going to do this deep dive. Okay. And don't make me feel like I need to hire somebody to control my social media while I'm live. Oh, because I will be really pissed off at you. Right? Okay, I know. I'm the energy healer that's not afraid to have boundaries still. So I'm not just like the person that you get on here and we're like, let's meditate, peace, life, and love. No, because I have boundaries, and just because I'm an energy worker and I really have the best heart does not mean that you get to trample all over other people, because I don't do bullying. Okay. So no one is stupid. I don't even want to say that everything is chaotic right now, because then you view it. Oh, lady said everything is chaotic. Oh, and then I view it as everything is chaotic. So it's not, guys. I just had a conversation with my kiddo, and, we were talking about the stuff going on in the Middle East. Now, I'm prior military, so this is not new to me. But there's a lot of mixed feelings that can go on with what's going on in the Middle East, which we also will not talk about here nor there. But I view it as, you know what? Everybody's okay to have some mixed feelings, because it's okay to feel like that at this moment. But I was telling my son, I'm like, I remember when September 11th happened, and I thought the world was coming to an end, and I was freaking out, and I was certain that we were going to die and they were going to take over the country. Hello. Hi, Stacy. And this was before I joined the military. And then I remember, what was I telling him? So that was September 11th. And then I remember something else. I just told him, I can't remember what it was. Something else happened. Maybe the first of the pandemic. Oh, when we went into the grocery stores, there was nothing in the grocery store. And I was like freaking out, right? Because I was like, is this it? Is this the end? Is this how we all die as we starve because there's no food in the grocery store? Like, I catch myself going 100 miles an hour with my brain. And I told my kid, I was like, living in the today right now in this moment. And we're going to talk about that more, but I want you to remember that. Replace your everything is chaotic, because then you'll make it chaotic. We're going to replace that with I'm living in the moment right now. And I did this before we went live. I was like, I'm living in the moment right now. And what am I feeling that's beautiful? And I was like, I'm feeling my beautiful candle. I'm not going to pick it up for you, but I'm burning Village Pumpkin Festival. Goose Creek is one of my favorite candle companies. Village Pumpkin Festival. I'm burning Village Pumpkin Festival. I can feel the breeze from my fan. And I just breathed, and I was like, this is a beautiful space, because you know why? I get to go live right now, and I get to do my favorite thing is to share knowledge, and is to uplift people, and is to bring you together and make you feel good. And that's what I get to do right now, in this moment, right now. And it doesn't matter about anything else that's going on. It doesn't matter what happened 5 minutes ago. It doesn't matter what happened last week, last year, last month, in 2011. And it doesn't matter what's going to happen in 10 minutes from now. And it doesn't matter what's going to happen tomorrow. Right now, in this moment, That's how you feel at peace, guys. You focus on right now at 6:08, which is the time for me, 6:08 p.m. I'm focusing on the right now, this very moment. I have zero control over anything else. Let's dive into this a little bit deeper, though, because I want you to think about this in a different terms. Okay, we're going to reflect. We're going to talk about two different women. Okay, so woman number one, when she's 8 years old, her mother passes away from an infection from a let's say a common procedure, having her appendix out. Okay, so little girl, her mom passes away when she's 8 because the mom had her appendix out. She hears all of her life that if the doctors would have noticed sooner, XYZ wouldn't have happened and her mom would still be alive. So this little girl grows up, she's now 40 years old, and she has it absolutely ingrained in her head that if somebody would have done one little tiny thing differently, her mother would still be alive. Okay, so you with me? That's our person number one. It's important that you follow with what I'm saying, or you're going to miss the entire point. Person number two, woman number two, grows up in a small town, really traditional family, doesn't really have anything crazy happen, gets married. Only people that she's really closely associated with that have passed away have been like her grandparents because they've aged. It's been natural. She has children. They've never been affected by anything very medical in life, nothing that's created an issue. Okay. We have two very separate people. Everything in woman number one's life has created how she feels right now about what is going on with the pandemic. Everything in woman number two's life is creating how she feels, her beliefs about what is going on in the pandemic. I want you to take a second and reflect on woman one and woman two and look at how completely different those two women are. And that is only from me telling you basically a paragraph about each person. And literally woman two's paragraph, I don't even know if it was a full sentence, but so we're talking like 2 sentences about 2 different people, but you can see that they have way different backgrounds. Now, remember last week when I talked about, I think it was on this page, maybe it was on others, but I talked about how much of what you do is out of your subconscious. So like 90% of the decisions you make is based off of your subconscious, which is what? Based off of all the beliefs, how you were raised by your parents, things you learned in school, the culture of your family, the culture of your friends. And we have 2 completely separate women that have gone through just in and of themselves this small little thing about, let's break it down even smaller. Woman number one lost her mom when she was 8. Woman number 2 lost her mom when the woman was 55. Her mom passed away of natural causes. Those are really different. Okay, you're following, right? We're talking about 2 people that are not even molded out of the same type of Play-Doh. Like one's molded out of Play-Doh and the other one's molded out of, potter's clay. Like not even anything here going on that's remotely the same. Yet, as a society, we are in a pandemic and we expect woman number 1 and woman number 2 to have the exact same view. Does it mean that woman number 1 is wrong? No. She's responding and she's reflecting off of what she learned and what she knows. Is woman number 2 wrong? No. She's responding and reflecting off of how she was raised and what she went through. Now, maybe let's just say hypothetically that, now don't go all crazy on me. Let's say woman number 2, she is deciding not to be vaccinated based off of what? Her experiences. Whereas woman number 1 wants to be vaccinated because she lost her mom over what she has been told was a really small thing that could have saved her mother's life. And so her view of the vaccination is way, way different. Now, I want you to think about this. It's really, 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 really important when it comes to what's going on right now. If you are a person who believes in the vaccination, then you will find all of the things out there that are for the vaccination, that are support, that are proof that the vaccination is beneficial. If you are for masks, then you will gravitate and find everything out there that is positive, that is for masks. If you, I'm just going to take this to a bigger scale. If you are a Christian, then you will find everything out there that matches your Christian beliefs. If you are on keto and you love it, then you will find all the positive scientific data that keto is fantastic. If you are, I can't remember if I said that person was for the vaccine. If you are against the vaccination, you will find every ounce of data that supports that there are limitations and things that can happen that are negative with the vaccination. If you are anti-mask, bear with me if I'm saying these backwards. You understand what I'm saying though, right? Regardless of where I am in anything, I will find all of the supporting evidence to support what I think. Do you see where I'm going with this? Either way, you are going to find things that lead you to support whatever it is that your opinion is. And we are going all the way back to how you were raised and all the things that formed you. And then once again, I'm going to tell you, do you really expect everybody to be believing the same thing? Absolutely not, because we all have things in our past that are affecting why we believe that a vaccination is going to work or why we believe that a vaccination will not work. Let's say woman number 3 has a neighbor who has a 6-year-old who got a vaccination who had a effect from it. She's going to have a way different view than a person 4 cities away. Woo! You scared me so bad. Did you see that? I was totally in the zone, and I think I just wet myself a little bit. What are you doing?
Yourself.
A little bit.
Really?
I'm live right now. What's up?
I'm gonna go in my homework, okay?
Okay. Thanks. Love you.
Okay.
Seriously, he scared me. But a person, you know, that's just like 4 miles away can have a completely different opinion because she's never been around someone that's been affected by a vaccination. Now, maybe I'm the woman that lives 4 miles away, and perhaps I have been to a foreign country. And I've done lots of volunteering in a foreign country that is a third world country. And I have seen the effects of something like measles or mumps or smallpox, something like that, right? And I know the devastation that it creates when people are affected by a disease. And I know that there's a simple immunization that is not, that could save these people from going through all. Do you see where I'm going? There is no right or wrong, you guys. Understand that you create your reality. So if I'm certain that option number 1 is horrifying, then that is the reality that I will create and make for myself, that it is horrifying. If I believe that option 1 is the right thing to do, then that is the reality that I will create, and it will become the right thing to do. And regardless of which side I'm on, I will find enough evidence to back that up, and I will think that I can go on Facebook and argue with people all day long, and I'm 100% right, and all everyone else is stupid. This takes a really big, mature mind to grasp this concept. We're going to do another one. Thank you for not posting any crazy comments. Okay, woman number 2. No, we're going to do men now. I don't want to isolate the men. Okay, man number 1, because I just want to really embed this into you. Impression, 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 right? I'm not trying to change anybody's minds. Is what I'm trying to do here is help you to feel some calmness and understanding, because a lot of you, like, it's not even about the whole pandemic. It's about not knowing how in the world you're supposed to make a choice, because there is no perfect choice. And so you feel completely lost, right? And so that's why I'm bringing you, like, focus on the now. It's okay. All right. Okay. Scenario 2. Here we go. Man number 1 grows up with a dad who works at a bank, had a sister who was in a car accident at age 13, and she was wearing a seatbelt and she died. Okay. Let's do that one again. Grows up with a dad who works at a bank, has a sister in a car accident at age 13. She was wearing a seatbelt and died. Okay. What do you think this man's reaction to wearing a seatbelt is? I mean, it could be either way, but he probably has an opinion. Okay. Man number 2 has a father who worked as an EMT. He listened to all the stories of things that his dad saw as a first responder, hears over and over and over again about people being saved because they had on their seatbelt. Dad never starts the car without everyone in the car having their seatbelt on. So he's the get in the car. Okay, we're not starting this car until everybody has their seatbelt on. So his reaction to wearing a seatbelt could be hugely different than person number 1. Maybe guy number 1 has a ton of resentment. Maybe his sister was 13 and maybe he was her twin. Maybe he has a ton of resentment. Let's add to this scenario. Let's add to man number 1 scenario. Let's say that not only was she in a car accident at age 13 and she passed away and she had her seatbelt on, but let's say hypothetically that at age 13, he hears someone say, let's say he was in the accident too. Let's say that he is just not even hurt. And he hears an EMT say, if that girl hadn't had her seatbelt on, I don't think she would have died, because that's possible. Okay. And he hears that. Do you think that affects how he feels about wearing a seatbelt? Now, is man number 1 right that wearing a seatbelt is potentially not the best thing to do? Or is he wrong? No, because what's his reality based off of, you guys? His reality is based off of watching his 13-year-old sister die and she had a seatbelt on, and overhearing someone say, oh, I think she could have survived if she wasn't wearing her seatbelt. Does he have a right to have that view and that opinion? Absolutely. It's based off of what his reality is. Is man number 2 wrong because it's drilled into his head, we will not start this car until everyone in this family has a seatbelt on? And so that's how he is with his kids. No, because his reality is what his father created for him. That is what he has heard. And so maybe his dad talked about 50 people wearing a seatbelt that were saved to every 1 person that was wearing a seatbelt that passed away, right? See where I'm going with that? So how you're responding to this pandemic, how you're responding to the whole Taliban taking over Afghanistan right now is based on how you were raised, what you were taught, and your experiences. Now, how do you think that my response is going to vary based on what's going on in the Middle East compared to my neighbor next door who wasn't in the military? We could have completely conflicting views because my experience is incredibly different than hers. I was talking to someone today who has been in the Army, okay? His job when he was deployed, way different than my job. Way different than my job. My job was getting in an airplane, flying all day long, giving people gas, and coming back and landing. And for the most part, I was in a very safe space. This person that I was talking to was, no kidding, what we call downrange. He's part of the driving around in armored vehicles. I even can't remember the name of it. But basically making sure that there were no bombs in the road, and if there were, taking them apart so that it's safe for everyone else to travel. My experience creates my belief about Afghanistan. His experience creates his belief about Afghanistan. I don't have anybody that I personally know that passed away while we were at war. That is different than other people who may have been fighting downrange and lost their best friend. So am I going to try to go into an argument with someone who has a different background than me about what's going on in Afghanistan right now? Absolutely not. Am I going to try to go into an argument with My neighbor next door that doesn't know a hill of beans about the military, has never been deployed, has never had anybody affected by it. No, I'm not. That would be completely pointless, right? I respect and understand that other people have different opinions than me because that is their reality. And that's where you draw peace from this. Because if you're running around thinking that everybody needs to understand how you're feeling, you will never, ever be at peace. You are going to be a hot mess express for the rest of your life, trying to force or make people believe or see things the way that you do. Instead, you take a deep breath and you accept my viewpoint is based off of my past beliefs. And I respect the opinion of other people because they're being affected by their past beliefs. And it is just a reflection. Let's imagine that all of us go, we all walk together. We all walk together and we all walk up to this beautiful, calm, big lake. Okay. The water's really calm. It's very peaceful. And let's say that you can look right into your reflection and you see the reflection of your life in this water. If I told you that you could walk down the row and see everybody else's reflections, are you going to be surprised that nobody's reflection looks like yours? Let's say it plays a little video of your life. No, you know what? In fact, you're probably going to do? You're probably going to pause for a moment and have respect as you're watching that person's life and realizing everything that they've been through and everything that's formed and shaped them. Because that's how they're coping. That's how they're reacting. So we're going to go back to this. How do you find this peace right now? How do you cope right now? You focus on right now in this moment. We're not going to think about, but in the past, all this went blah, 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 blah. And we're not going to think into the future of, oh my gosh, all this is going to happen and blah, 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 blah. I'll give you one that is really messing with people. It's reflecting back to control of people and loading people into cars and what happened. And we all know the event that I'm talking about, but I don't want to go into this big crazy thing with you guys, but you're focusing on the past and then you're focusing on the future. And then you're thinking that you have all this control over it. Am I saying that things like this we need to be aware? Absolutely. But you guys, thinking about the future you cannot control anything that's going to happen then. Fretting and freaking out about the past does not change anything. The change happens right now, in this very moment. And you know what? 5 seconds ago is now gone. 5 seconds ago is gone. I can't do anything 5 seconds ago. Look at it simply. Look at it really simply. Let's say when I was going to pick something crazy. Let's say when I started my video, that I was live and I did something. Okay. I called somebody by the wrong name. I can't do anything to go back and change that. Does it do me any good to worry about it? No, because it happened already and that moment is gone. Just be done with it. We beat ourselves up so much for stuff that we've done before. And unless you're repeating that behavior, like, right, I get it. Like if you cheated on your spouse in the past, you can't let it go. As long as you're not still doing it, there's room and time to heal and fix things. And I know that's a really hard one, but obviously it's different if I continue to do the same behavior over and over and over again. But we can only control what's in the moment right now, this very moment. And now that moment's gone. So now I can control right now. Right now. Only now. I can't control 3 seconds ago. Right now. Right now, right now, right now. Ooh, my Healy's done. It's so cool to be running a Healy on one of my clients while we're live, clearing out toxins. Hallelujah. Okay, so you're not going to change anybody's mind, guys. On Facebook, arguing with people. You're not. You are not an eraser of people's pasts. I mean, you can be if you want to train to be a practitioner, but people have to come to you and ask for that. You're not going to change anybody's mind arguing on Facebook. Rewiring the brain and changing those neurological pathways does not happen by arguing. Okay? In fact, it cannot happen. I'm going to repeat that. You cannot neurologically change someone's brain by arguing with them. A person is not in the right space for those pathways to be changed during an argument. Can pathways be changed? Absolutely. But you cannot do that while you're arguing with someone and making them angry. Okay? Now, here we go. Number one thing, everyone on both sides should be avoiding. Okay? We're going to bring us all together now. We have all these different opinions about what's going on, but guess what you need to come together with? Avoiding one particular thing. Guys, it's fear. Fear is the master disaster. And if I go pull up any one of the news stations, in fact, maybe let's do it. Why don't we? Okay, I'm going to look on KSL. That's a local news station for me. Just for fun, let's see how many things on KSL are based off of fear right now. Because guess what fear does? Yep, it's a trigger. It's like an addiction. I start getting fearful and I go into fight or flight and my adrenaline starts going, right? And then I get sucked into this. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so let's see it. Top U.S. military leaders. Yep, definitely fear. Utah reports how many COVID cases? That's fear. Canyon fire, fear. Animal handler is attacked. I'd still call that fear. T-Mobile confirms it was hit by a data breach. Fear. Wind forecast brings new worries to California fires. Fear. Higher inflation could trigger job problems. Fear. Football legend, someone dies. Fear, right? Fear of dying. Biden says he stands behind his decision. Fear. Everything. Fear. Fear. I'm not going to be guaranteed what I thought when I for my Social Security. Fear. Teen driver who crashed on Sunday was shot. Fear. Fear. Do you see that? Every freaking thing that I just read to you, I don't even know how many that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 10. Every freaking thing that I just read to you, which is all the top headlines on this news station, what are they? You guys are being controlled by fear. Regardless of where you are, that is what is going on. Fear. So if you want to align with something, align with the thing that everyone on both sides should be avoiding is fear. Fear is the creator of absolute disaster. Your brain shuts down when you are scared because you are in fight or flight. You are meant to run and hide or fight. Well, when you are seeing fear of all of this stuff, I mean, after just reading all that, I would be like, there's nothing here to do, right? I'm just take the deadly nightshade and be done with it. Honestly, your brain shuts down. Everything's going to your muscles. So all your blood flow, you're not digesting anything. Oh, hi. After reading all these news things, do any of you have problems eating, sleeping, going to the bathroom? Are you having pain, weakness? Suddenly, I don't know why I feel dizzy all the time. Yeah, because your brain's shutting down. Your body's sending all of your energy to your muscles. You're gaining weight because you're producing cortisol. All this stuff is happening. You're not even you're being irrational with your decisions because you're not living in the now at all. You're living in fight or flight. You're just running. You're like, and every day, how many times are you refreshing the news page? How many times are you on Facebook watching what's going on and you're just engaging in this activity and it's keeping you in fight or flight? I'm telling you right now, you're not living in the now moment. Living in the now. What am I actually afraid of right now in this moment, sitting at my desk? Nothing. Right now in this 1 second. Right now in this 1 second, what am I afraid of? Nothing. I'm sitting at my desk. Nothing. Because I'm not letting myself go past 6:32 p.m. in how many seconds? I will react to something when I have to. Okay? Fear weakens your immune system. It's the underlying fertilizer for disease and stops you from progressing. All right, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Let it go. Your responsibility is you. In this moment right now, focus on you. How can I make myself better? How can I do something? I relax, because your ego is trying to control everything. Your ego is wrong. You do not have to be in control all of the time. I even catch myself. I was always taught, no, you need a plan. You need a plan. If you don't have a plan and you don't have a structured plan, then you're going to be a failure. So what do I have to overcome in my life is being this like control freak that has to have everything exactly laid out. Structure, structure, structure. I'm not saying that there isn't something beautiful about having a structure, but there are certain times when you have to be able to also accept the flow of life. So yes, I try to have a structured day, but dang, sometimes I get a call. Hey, Amy, your kid, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to need you to come and pick him up. And then I'm going to be like, okay, right. Live in the moment. What am I like? I don't go to work. I like this one. I don't go to work and sit at my desk and be like, is my babysitter going to call? And am I going to have to go pick up my kid? Am I going to have to leave to go pick up my kid? I don't go into meetings and be like, I might have to leave to go pick up my kid. I might have to leave to go pick up my kid. I don't go around the entire day being like, I have anxiety because what if my babysitter calls and I have to go pick up my kid? Is it a possibility that my babysitter can call and I need to pick up my kid? Absolutely. But I don't let it take over my day, right? What do? I live in the moment of now. And if my babysitter calls, then I go pick up my kid. It does me no good to think about all the times in the past that I've had to pick up my kid. It doesn't do me any good to think about all the times in the future that I might have to pick up my kid. What matters is the right now, and my babysitter isn't calling, so let it go, right? But that's your ego. Woo! What if? Bringing in the fear. So flow, accept, and take it as it comes. All right. I want to talk about two things really quick because you've seen me posting. One is my affiliate program. I just want to clear the details with this. This means that if you send someone to me, if your name is Jill, and Jill talks to her friend, Sarah, and she says, hey, Sarah, I have this really cool lady that I follow, and she does these really cool things where she does these sessions. And I know you just went through this, and I think you would benefit greatly from her. Like, she super helped me. If Sarah then contacts me and places an appointment and books a session and pays for her session, then I will pay you, Jill, 10% of what Sarah's session costs. Okay? This is a one-time referral. So now if Sarah keeps booking lots and lots of sessions, that doesn't continue. But if now you go to work and you tell Bill about it, and then Bill comes and books a session with me, I'll pay you 10% of Bill's session cost. And I'm not talking about what my session cost is, because who knows if this gets viewed 20 years from now, right? My session costs are so low right now too. But if Bill comes and books a session with me, then Jill, I will pay you 10% of Bill's session cost again. If Bill books 12 more sessions, then it's just that first one. Does that make sense? This is a referral. Now, let me tell you how it works on courses. Courses are a little bit different, okay? So let's say that Jill is referred and she purchases my practitioner course. So let's say Jill has Sarah purchase my practitioner course, and Sarah is like, oh, Jill referred me. Then I'm going to give you 10% of the course that Jill purchased, okay? And if Jill decides to purchase another course, then I'll give you 10% of the course that I'm saying their names wrong, Sarah purchased. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's kind of confusing people. You yourself aren't getting 10% off of stuff. That's not what that means. It means if you send someone to me, then I will pay you 10% of what they spent. It is a referral. Thank you. Thank you for telling your neighbor, Kristen, how awesome I am. And I want to give you a thank you for sending Kristen to me so that we can help with her, whatever. Makes sense? So it's not a 10% off of everything for yourself. It's if you send someone to me, I will give you a little piece of what they purchased. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, because I think this was confusing some people. Second, we're going to talk really quick about my beta course, because I don't want you to miss out on it. And that is also bringing in some questions that I feel like I can really quickly just clarify. So elevate life vibration. This is a methodology that I created Why? Goodbye. Goodbye. Anyways, okay. This is a methodology that I created that is based off of all of the diving into energy that I have studied. Okay. So I read books, I take courses. I'm always constantly learning, looking, finding things that work for my clients. Even if you did a session with me 7 months ago, you'll notice that your session stuff is different than it was 7 months ago. And that's because it's a process. Energy methodology is a process and it's always changing. So everything that's in ELV, it's all of the stuff that I have found, all of the things that have channeled to me as I've worked with my clients that I have found to be different than, like, say, something specific that I learned, right? So I put it all together to make this nice little bundle, because otherwise it's almost like you have 7 different things that you're trying to use. And I wanted it to be all in one place for people. In addition, I found that you need to do more than just working on the subconscious. You have to include some cognitive stuff. So some of the things that I'm working on right now are NLP, and you can Google these, NLP, Psych K, Dr. Kim Duramo has some great stuff that she teaches, and I'm incorporating all of that and taking out everything that resonates with me, and I am putting that together for you. So the Elevate Life Vibration is my beta course launch. So what does that mean? It means that when you join, it's probably going to change. It's going to build upon itself, which isn't something you have to worry about, because you're going to pay the $197, which is a discounted rate from the $497 that it will become. And it's lifetime for you. So as I add to it, as the beautiful process happens, anything that I change, if I upload new course material into the back office, you can always go in and you can reference it, and you're part of the process. Does that make sense? I don't want you to buy something and then in 3 months from now, I'm like, oh, I decided to version this up because I found this other really cool thing that I started working on with a client, and I want you to try it. It will be there for you. And so I'll always tell you in the Soul Centered Practitioner group, hey guys, I started channeling this other thing. I want to tell you about it. This is something that came to me and I want to share it with you. So you're going to get digital course material. You're going to get charts and lists. And like I said, as I update them to other versions, then you will, it's so hard for me when I see somebody say something negative. I'm like, bippity, boppity, boo. Karma follows you. Okay. So digital course material, recorded course material for the beta group. Some of the training will be live because I'm going to do it live and record it and then put it into the back office, because you guys are the beta group. Then you just get to have the opportunity to have it live. Whereas following other practitioners will just log in and then it will be recorded. But you can go self-paced. So the first one is on Saturday and it is going to be live, but you don't have to be there live. As soon as I'm done, I'll upload it into this login area and you'll have access to it. So you can go watch it whenever you want. You don't have to be on the Saturday live. That was kind of a confusing thing that people were asking me about. So what else are you going to get with it? A free subscription to my Soul Centered Practitioner group. Now, someone asked me, well, what if I don't know if I want to purchase your methodology, but I love watching you and I love your training. Can I just get into your Soul Centered Practitioner group? Absolutely. As long as you have some kind of knowledge and background in energy healing and you're, not trolling it, well, you wouldn't do that because you're not going to pay to troll. Well, maybe you would. And I think there are people that must love it that much. But anyways, so if you just want to hop into the group, it's $17 a month. And what are you going to get? You're going to get monthly training on energy healing, monthly group clearing sessions. So this is going to be similar to the one I did the other day where I told you, I'm like, oh my gosh, the Earth's magnetic field, like you can see it, measure it. The frequency went like really Kawapis for like 3 days. So we did a group healing to kind of bring everybody back to grounding and center. So stuff like that. It's going to be really surrounded to the change in moon cycles really affect people. So we'll do it around like the new moon or the full moon, or when I see the Earth do that again, then that's what they're going to be. But you don't have to pay for those. It's part of being in the group. Access to Amy for subconscious blueprint reading. I'm not going to go into super long detail with this, but I want you to know what this is. So this is something that I discovered. Your subconscious remembers everything. So if you work with someone else, whether this is a client, if you decide to do this as a business, or it's just your family member, maybe it's one of your kiddos, and you're really struggling with something and you're like, I can't break through. I just can't break through it. I don't know. I can't see it. I don't know for sure what it is. Then you can come to me and you can say, hey, can you help me with this? I don't have to have permission from the other person to do this because your subconscious has already seen it. You're just having a little bit of a hard time channeling it, but I can go through you to see a subconscious blueprint of someone else. When I first started looking into this, I was like, wait a minute, does that mean that everybody's running around with everybody's absorbed stuff? And I was like, oh no, that doesn't mean it's not what it is at all. It's literally like a blueprint on a piece of paper. You're not getting anything off of it. It's just like me asking you to be like, hey, you went to the garden. What color flowers did you see? Purple. Doesn't mean that you have these purple flowers now haunting you for the rest of your life. Does that kind of make sense? It's like a blueprint thing. So it's really cool. And so I'm calling it subconscious blueprint reading, and I can help you if you're working on someone else. And then you'll also get discounted prices for any additional course launches that I do. So it is $197. You get lifetime access to any of the material as I update it. And the other thing that I really want you to know, because this is what we're really focusing on Saturday, is that how many of you are like, I really would love to be able to do this, but I don't have the gift. I don't have what it takes. And that's not true. Every single one of you has the ability to heal yourself, and every single one of you has the ability to help other people balance and heal themselves. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you work through that confidence spot, because I feel like in everything that I've ever done, like that was missing. It's like I started working on it, and then I'm like, I'm doubting myself. And so then you just want to quit because you're like, I don't know if I'm really doing this right. What if I tell somebody something that's not right? Like all that kind of mumbo jumbo. That's what we're really going to dig through. We're really going to get through that muck. Okay, so if that interests you, you can go ahead and message me, and I'll let you into my beta group. Okay, guys, don't forget, live in this moment. Take it all in. Don't be trying to change anybody's opinions by posting nasty stuff on social media or pulling, people's hair at the Walmart checkout line. All right. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night, and we will see you, if not sooner, next Monday.